Welcome back to another episode of Death After Sports, DAS, with your boy Sean Mack. And today I'm going to be discussing the man, the myth, the legend, Dale Earnhardt Sr. For those that don't know, I'm originally from down south, and one thing we love down south is our guns, our religion, and NASCAR, no matter what color you are. So today I'm going to be speaking on Dale Earnhardt and what happened with him, as we all know, but what safety precautions and measures came out of this deal. As we all know, sometimes in a tragic situation, when something bad happened, something good comes out of it. And trust me, Dale sacrificed his life so many other racers didn't have to go through what he went through. Safety precautions became better, seatbelts became better, the overall make of and model of the NASCAR became better. So remember, if you like today's content, make sure you share, like, and subscribe to the video. So let's go. Before I go over what happened on that famous final lap, let's go over some of Dale's stats for his career. On the NASCAR Cup Series, he had 676 races over 27 years. He finished in the top 10 428 times. He poled 22 times, and he won 76 times. In the NASCAR Xfinity Series, he had a total of 136 races over 13 years. He finished in the top 10 75 times. He poled 7 times, and he won 21 times. Intimidator. Now let's talk about what happened on that fatal final lap. During the Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway on February 18 of 2001, Earnhardt was killed in a 3-car crash on the final lap of the race. He collided with Ken Schrader after making small contact with Sterling Marlin and hit the outside wall head on. He had been blocking Schrader on the outside, and Marlin was on the inside at the time of the crash. Earnhardt's and Schrader's cars both slid off the track's asphalt, banking into the infield grass just inside of turn 4. Seconds later, his driver Michael Waltrip won the race, and Michael's teammate and his son Dale Earnhardt Jr. finished second. Dale Earnhardt Sr. was pronounced dead at the Halifax Medical Center at 5:16 p.m. Eastern Time. He was 49 years old at the time of his death. NASCAR President Mike Helton confirmed Earnhardt's death in a statement to the press. An autopsy conducted on February 19 of 2001 concluded that Earnhardt sustained a fatal vascular skull fracture. 4 days later, on February 22nd, public funeral services for Earnhardt were held at the Calvary Church in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now let's talk about what happened after this tragic event. After Earnhardt's death, 2 investigations led by the Daytona Beach Police Department and NASCAR commenced. Nearly every detail of the crash was made public. The allegations of the seatbelt failure resulted in Bill Simpson's resignation from the company bearing his name, which manufactured the seatbelts used in Earnhardt's car and nearly every other NASCAR driver's car. NASCAR implemented rigorous safety improvements, such as a mandated Haynes device, which Earnhardt refused to wear after finding it restrictive and uncomfortable. Several press conferences were held in the days following Earnhardt's death, after driver Sterling Marlin and his relatives received hate mail and death threats from angry fans. Winthrop and Earnhardt Jr. absolved him of any responsibilities. Richard Childress made a public plea that the number 3 would never again adore the side of a black race car with a GM Goodwrench sponsor. The number returned for the 2014 season, though, this time not sponsored by GM Goodwrench, which was rebranded GM Certified Service in 2011, driven by Childress's grandson, Austin Dillon. Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s remains were interred at his estate in Mooresville, North Carolina, after a private funeral service on February 21, 2001. Rest in peace, big dog. Dale Earnhardt was a beast. As I stated earlier, I grew up in the Deep South, and it was something in the 80s to see him in that black car with the number 3. He was an intimidator, as they called him, but as a kid watching him, he never smiled, he never looked happy. It didn't seem like he liked people, he only cared about racing. So he was like a mythical figure, somewhat like a a superhero or evil villain, however you want to place him, whichever side you're on. But something about that number 3 and that mustache and those glasses that were very intimidating, even watching him from home as a kid. And I just want to say rest in peace. Thanks for the memories, and thanks for raising your son in the sport. We got to see his entire career, and I'm pretty sure you would have been proud of him. On that note, I've been Sean Mack, and this is Death After Sports. Dale Earnhardt Sr. Peace.